Hello, this is Math Jazz from Almost Cool. I'm here with Diermood
Hello.
and Swarmlord.
Hello.
And we are playing another episode of Stellaris.
And there was
Um,
much rejoicing.
Yay.
Yay.
So, um, let's see. So, first thing that we want to do is we want to start talking about the dev diaries.
While that's going on, I'll probably be swapping in and out as I deal with facing down the Fallen Empire. This was another one of the feature roundups. Basically the minor policies, whatnot, minor being added in. This one is mainly various policies that are being added. The first new policy is known as land appropriation. It's a policy available to all ethics and governance. And it's about whether or not a newly conquered planet should basically have their land appropriated when you come from non-citizen species. So if you conquer a planet and you're like xenophobe, so you basically you only ever have your own species, whatnot. When you land appropriation, basically it's any newly conquered planet with less than 5 tiles of unblocked free space will have some non-citizen plops removed to clear their way for citizens. They're either simply outright, basically being driven to the gums and the fringes of the planet, or become refugees that will attempt to flee to an empire that will have them. Additionally, any planet that has and seas will get a temporary land appropriation modifier that massively increases migration attraction and prevents non-producing and migrating there will in effect. Whoa. My game's behaving a little glitchy.
How so?
I engaged the Fallen Empire fleet, and I clicked them for the fleet battle thing. When I click them, my fleet is apparently so big, it doesn't pop up on the fleet combat button. That is... I might just...
Alien megastructure complete.
Ooh.
Yep.
Yes! My Dyson Sphere has been completed. We have achieved what only a handful of star empires in our history have, and in the history of the galaxy have dared imagine: the total subjugation of a star.
It produces 400 energy credits.
Yep. Which
that's insane.
That is over half of my current energy production while my fleet is out.
Wow. Is it possible for you to trade a Dyson Sphere to someone else?
And maybe if they lost control. But yeah. Anyway, so up back to the land appropriation. Non-multi AI empires will make use of the policy, meaning that even regular wars of conquest will generate refugees, indirectly boosting refugee haven empires. So basically, land appropriation, it's a way for you to boost up your various citizens jumping onto the planet, and basically offers it allows other species gain possible refugees. My fleet doing? Well, now that I'm actually in range, I am mulching a lot of their ships. That said, I've already lost several ships, but anyway. Next policy is policies about pre-sapients, which were previously pre-sentients. They swapped the terminology. So the following policies are now available. You can basically choose how you deal with sentients, I believe, beforehand, or more than just they're allowed or not. Extermination. Pre-sentients are quickly and efficiently exterminated to make room for your ops. Livestock. Pre-sapients are hunted and eaten by your empire, though this will slowly deplete their population. They can also be manually purged at will. Deplete is mostly done for balance reasons, as otherwise there would be no reason not to eat. Tolerated. Pre-sapients are tolerated and will generally not be interfered with, though they can be manually purged or killed off via terraforming. And protected. Pre-sapients are protected from purging, and worlds they are living on cannot be terraformed. This Fallen Empire fleet is down to about 60k. Next one, and I think this one was this one has been kind of clamored for by the community in general for a while. Initial border status, the policy that basically choose whether your borders will be open or closed upon meeting a new empire. It has no effect on empires you have already contacted or not contacted, and it does not prevent manually opening or closing any border. But it means that if you want, you can start off with um start off with closed borders.
Situation log updated.
Okay.
My fleet lost 9 cruisers, 40 corvettes, and 2 battleships, and I annihilated their fleet. What battleship classes did I lose? I can't even see what battleship classes I lost. Oh my gosh, that is just bad. It's bad how laggy it is when I try to select my fleet. Oh gosh. Hey, it was. We need. Type this, then I'll go back to diary. Actually, the last couple are really really simple. Well, basically tie-ins with discussions and whatnot. There are 2 other policies. Basically, whether or not you allow your empire to have any robotic work at all, as opposed to whether or not they use AIs, just whether they have them. I'm not sure if how much the AI will make use of that policy. That you're any robots that end. And the last one is manual purging. It's not a policy, but basically they're bringing back the manual purge. It is highly restricted. You can only manually purge slaves, non-protected sapients, or robotic pups without citizens' rights. So basically, it allows you to Basically, allowed you to get rid of slave species or sapient or robots don't if you don't want to get rid of all of them, but you want to get rid of like some on that particular. And that is it with them saying that next week they will be talking about changes to ascension paths and megastructure, and the addition of Awakened Empire Decadence.
Ooh.
Yep. Looking like fun.
Oh, very much so.
Okay. So, I was just thinking, of the main species in Babylon 5, which ones are most like which of our empires?
I think that the Airmoon would probably be most like Ari.
Maybe.
And why?
Well, partially because religious empire, which the Minbari are heavily religious. Well, at the same time, at least Minbari in their current state, just because the Minbari the Minbari are not are not like a hyper aggressive race or anything like that. Usually, they are if you go by playstyles, none of us really fit anywhere.
Well, that's the difference between trying to compare us to different fictions.
Yeah, I mean, me being a hyper spiritualist militarist faction, I don't think really fits any of the current setups. But it does fit what I remember, it fits Ari farther back in their past. So I think me and Dearman are most likely to with math is a little harder.
Maybe the humans? Nah.
Not really. Honestly,
Maybe the Narn.
No.
Narn might be close.
No, not the Narn.
Yeah, you have more information. I'm gonna go with you.
Honestly, I'd put him more along the lines of like an empire that is basically the equivalent of the League of Non-Aligned Worlds. Because I mean, kind of has all sorts of species in his thing. He's all about democratic process, which League of Non-Aligned Worlds basically came together in a sort of coalition. That
I agree with this assessment. I think that I am the non-aligned worlds. Does that make you the Vorlons?
I mean, I have ascended to a point where I am literally reaching into other dimensions. I am, which minor spoilers, but the Vorlons are probably the best at most likely to be dimensional. Not really fully multi-dimensional, but they are the only ones. They are like one of the only ones to actually muck about with other dimensions. More than just travel, which is basically what their hyperspace.
Their hypergates or whatever.
It's literally shifting into another dimension.
That's the way most hyperspace travel seems to work in sci-fis.
Yeah, it's just that they require jump points. Ships big enough to generate jump. Yeah. Anywho, my war is going well, and by war I mean I have managed to wipe out any real opposition. Ready?
The mass slaughter is going pretty well.
Yes. Their response when I opened the diplomacy screen: "We are not done. We are not yet done punishing you." And all I can think is, "You have no chance. You are pathetic." The only thing they technically have better is their tech is technically superior more than anything else. But when they have a pathetic fleet power compared to me, whoa, that. Oh. Awesome! I finished integrating that one species into my empire. Yeah. The Vivisandians are now actually part of my empire. There are some pacifists among them, but there are also some militarists. Anywho, but yeah, it was one. Just I have one last vassal under. Not yet. I still have the covenant with the Eater of.
Yeah, how's that going?
It's actually going really well. They've only ever shown up one time after the initial covenant.
Man, I hate that you guys are sacrificing your people like that.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'll say I wouldn't be willing, but I haven't.
Well, Well, yeah, that's because you don't have access to the shroud.
Nope.
You're going genetics. You're going.
I'm going genetics. If we
Yep.
can't go robots, I'm going genetics. And since I can't go robots,
I mean, you're already getting Gene Ward.
yep.
Enemy planet secured.
On fleet. All the lag. Is my fleet coming this way?
You know, when you showed me this game and I started playing it on my own, I didn't build any armies. I didn't know what they were for,
Oops.
so I would just bombard planet after planet and have them cede their planets to me.
Well, it worked out, evidently.
And if it managed to work out, great.
But I just think about that sometimes, like, wow, like,
Really bad.
yeah, well, I mean, I didn't know anything about the game back then.
Situation log updated.
The Grand Crusade has entered the system. Oh my gosh, this I just wreck face with this. Holy crap. It is so big, I can't even select. I can't even figure out I was putting an even number of my Archon class and my Seraphim class, but I have no idea what the two battleships I lost in the previous battle class they were. Because my game lags out so badly every time I try to actually, do anything more than look at them. And even when I look at them, it's bad. Oh my gosh. I have the largest and most deadly fleet in the galaxy. I mean, closest one I think is the Aramudes. I think the Aramudes is the second largest fleet.
Which is sad, considering mine hasn't even broken 300k.
You're not even half my fleet size. Your fleet is not even half my fleet size. Oh.
Nope.
So are you gonna wipe out the
Situation log updated.
Verlviv protectors?
I'm already doing that.
Updated. Fleet destroyed.
No, like, is this war gonna end with them gone or just weakened?
Gone.
And you're gonna have the foothold over there? Or are you gonna spin off a new vessel?
I'll probably end up making them a vassal. Because I don't want to have holdings literally on the other side of the galaxy. It'd be nice to be able to stretch. I feel like I'm kind of already pushing the boundaries of how far I can go. It's quite literally about as far away from my home as it can be. faith class defense state.
Okay, guys, I'm being called away. I'll be back maybe 5-10 minutes most, hopefully.
Alrighty.
Construction complete.
Real quick, how do we divvy up his whole world?
Well,
Construction log updated.
I'd be willing to let you take all of his worlds if you give me your vassal here, and the vassal you're gonna create.
Situation log updated.
Is that a fair arrangement? We'll split the galaxy in half. See the line between your region and mine? Just continue it straight across. You can get all of what Jeff or what Diarmid has, and I'll get everything on the other side.
How much does my vassal right here like you?
They hate me 159.
and you want me to send someone who hates your guts into your arms.
Well, I would liberate them from you.
They are their own people. I simply provide protection.
Yeah, like the mafia protects small businesses.
That would be if they were a tributary. They are a vassal. They are. It is more akin to. Okay, look, it's literally basically I make sure that anyone who wants to attack them has to go through me. No one can attack them without going through me. So they are safe to pursue however they want. This small fleet. Oh! Seraphim class, whoops. Seraphim class. Battleship, okay. So, I managed to actually figure out a way to figure out how many ships my fleet has in it. I had to select multiple fleets and would actually dense it down.
Construction complete.
Anywho, the vessel that's gonna be over here, I'm as well. I am bringing them into the fold of the true religion. Religion of the Uri Covenant.
So, what principles does your religion hold?
I'm not
Secured.
But seriously, though, I mean, society is ruled by a religious council. I'm basically my government is the wisest and most highest members of the clergy, and the leader is the High Inquisitor.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
My people love me. I mean, when even members whose parties hate my guts still love my empire. It really says something. and I'm going for their homeworld. Celestial Throne. Celestial Throne will belong to I. Why do they have android assault? They have android assault armies. Spiritualists aren't able to get robots yet. Why do they have android assault armies? Okay. Jump out of that system. My game was flipping. At least on my end, it.
Situation log updated.
Okay, so who wants to sum up the episode?
Is Jeremy back?
Oh, that's right, he's gone.
Oh my gosh. Dearmood has a little vassal that just popped into existence. A little protector that just popped into existence. It looks like he literally managed to uplift it, and they uplifted while he was gone. A little anthropod race. The Sathid Mandate, a harmonious collective with tyrannic dictatorship. A pacifist form of autocracy where the state is charged with protecting citizens from their own violent tendencies as well as any external threats. Harmonious collective are authoritarian societies where the citizens are devoted to the state without the need for coercion. They tend to keep to themselves but are not averse to trading. Authoritarian, xenophile, and pacifist. They have an efficient bureaucracy and are environmentalists. How goes the fight here? I can't even tell which ones they're fighting. I think they're fighting literally everything in the system at the moment. They're literally, my fleet is engaged with every space station in the system at the moment. That is ridiculous. Also, I'm pretty sure I've lost a Corvette somewhere in there. Okay, which one are they targeting now? Can't even tell. Whoa, what is that thing shooting with? Oh, it's shooting whirlwind missiles and it's shooting various missile types at me. Shooting at a research station. Okay, that's fine. Hurry up and start shooting at the space stations that are actually shooting at you. Oh, the little missionary Corvette is about to get blown up. What? Guess they have enough shields that they can take a few from with swarmer missiles. And my destroyers are mixed in this melee, so... Now they're actually going for the defense station. Are those all fighters? Oh my gosh. Those are all fighters or bombers on the... What a mess. What a mess that is. Okay, they are about to finish off that station. Which is good.
Construction complete. Situation log updated.
Good, got it. Now everyone's turning around and going after the other one now.
Okay, I have returned.
Yay!
I know you missed me, right?
Of course.
My sister heard me say that, and she went, "No."
I heard.
It saddens me.
By the way, Yermood,
Yo,
you have a little protectorate.
yes, I do. I just enlightened them.
Yep, the mandate. They are pacifists.
That's fine. They'll join me eventually.
That's kind of a sad thing to say, you know?
What? They'll join me eventually?
Well, yeah, I mean, like, oh, they're pacifists, but I'll make them into a war-loving race soon enough.
Well, if they don't want to, I'll keep them safe. But
Goes back to the argument that Math and I had about me handing over the enlightened kingdom of Widbaril. And I just like, I don't want to hand over my vassal to him, but when they hate him, especially because they are very authoritarian.
Situation log updated.
Whereas Math is an egalitarian.
Egalitarian.
Yes. They are
Comes-
opposites.
Comes from the German word egal, which means equal.
I actually didn't know that. Cool. Learn something new.
Situation log updated.
Alright, I want... Up. I am taking that one out.
Why did we throw away the potato roll? Moldy?
Yes, I will do it here. I will do it in my home city. Let us begin.
Incoming transmission.
I'm about to continue my war. I should have enough that I can beat these guys down easily enough. Let them feel the might of my gene warriors.
Hostile fleet engaged. Situation log updated.
I fall behind whenever I select my fleet. It is ridiculous.
Kind of funny at the same time, but I'll give it to you.
Oh my gosh. The of Confederacy of Yurdur.
Me?
The Confederacy of Yurdur, my little one planet vassal, actually sent a small fleet into this fight. That includes a battle cruiser or battleship with particle lances.
Complete.
Ooh.
Situation log updated.
Yeah, although currently it looks like all they're doing is going to be poking at mining stations and like.
Construction
I.
complete.
Their fleet,
Yes, you can blame them all to the end of eternity.
their fleet isn't even considered as powerful as one of the Fallen Empire's military stations.
So, I was going to blame them to the end of eternity.
They're not even as powerful as their star bases. They have one planet. I will not be mad at them. I will not be mad at my little spiritual seeker. They want peaceful cooperation with other empires in the hopes of studying their connection to the divine. I'm allowing them to do so in peace. If they choose to send warships when I go to war, so be it. They can seek the mission. Oh. Your little protectorate is weaker than the enclaves.
They just need time. They just barely started.
I know, but it's just funny when I have it sorted by relative power, and your little guy is supposedly weaker than the enclaves, and the enclaves are just a single space station. Granted, they're a little space station that's worth 10,000 fleet power, but still. My troops are landing on Sky Temple. Riders of false doctrine shall fall.
Research complete. Enemy planet secured.
Woo! Alrighty, any chance we can pause this?
Yes.
Because I'm going to need some time to work this out.
Okay.
I can't create a vassal over there. Unless maybe I stick it in Vector?
You can give it to me.
It would be a potential possibility, and yet.
I don't think he will.
But look at the bright side. You can now colonize those holy worlds that have been sitting at your in your territory for so long.
Yes, I have colony ships explicitly for this.
Yeah, it's not gonna let me actually vassal. So I will simply. Which, to be fair, they aren't actually very. They aren't actually super annoyed at me. The most unhappy I see any of them is at 45%. Not actually all that bad because they're all spiritualists.
So, I think that there's some background noise from Diarmud's end.
Yeah.
That's normal.
Oh, okay.
I can't do much to cut it out.
Oh, okay. So,
Anytime I tell the background noise to be quiet, they get mad at me.
Okay, so
You can go ahead and pause now, man.
okay, Deathwalker was the episode, one of the two episodes we watched this week. Who wants to sum up the episode?
Alrighty, so
I
Oh.
guess that means he will.
yeah, don't I usually end up being the one to do so?
Not untrue. Go for it.
Anyway,
Sorry, I interrupted.
all good. So primary, the primary story involving starts off where the Atoth, the aide for Ambassador Jakar, is waiting for a transport to dock, and alien attacks her, shouting "Deathwalker." She gets arrested. She gets put under house arrest as a result, and the and that's basically along the lines of why did you go after her, and it's because the woman is Deathwalker. The woman is a Dilgar who 30 years before basically went on a rampage, murdered a lot of people and entire races, and were eventually beaten back by the various nations they attacked with the help of Earth, help of humanity, and Deathwalker was Jador. Anyway, she was a high-ranking military official that did a lot of nasty, nasty experiments on various captives and and various and both and the more powerful governments are trying to get her custody. Reason being, developed what was known as an epic, which they clarify that as well. Basically, it makes people effectively immortal. It knocks out it prevents from harming people. It prevents them from aging, and and uh, and well, yeah, it's effectively granting immortality. And so Narns were attempting to get a hold of it, accidentally lost that chance. Earth is trying to get a hold of it, and the League of Non-Aligned Worlds are trying to get justice for the fact that that she murdered a lot of people.
In their particular space.
Yes. So and things very quickly deteriorate. Narns are unable to convince her without some without a nasty little request. She wanted the Toth's head as basically an apology for
Attacking her.
yeah, and the Narns couldn't have her. They basically attempted to get someone to basically keep anyone else from getting her by alerting the unaligned that that she was there. And things start coming to a head. Sheridan begins to manages basically leaks the fact that she has vitality serum, and um, and as a result, the League of Non-Aligned Worlds backs off in return for um, very basically being allowed to watch over this this whole that's getting sorry.
It's just louder than normal,
Yeah.
dear mood.
Yeah, they're starting to yell.
And to be fair, also you did get a
Really? Yeah, I did get a new headset, so this one functions a little better.
yeah, which in turn means
Stop meowing,
which in turn means that it's a little here.
punk.
Anywho, as basically League of Online Worlds gets to sit in and watch the events of the of basically learning how the anti-agapic was made, and once they are satisfied that it is made, that they can be made, then they would be allowed to take Deathwalker in for their worlds for trial. Basically, all sides were satisfied. He was about to be sent away, and she dropped the bomb on Sheridan that her anti-agapic requires an unsynthesizable material that can only be gathered from living beings. Basically, that her anti-agapic will require the death of at least one sentient for every sentient that gains immortality. With her final parting words being, not like us, you will become us. And that being basically her monument. And so they watch her board a transport, and right as she's about to go into the gate by Babylon 5, a Vorlon ship comes and blows her up. With Kosh going up to gathered to see her leave, and stating, "You are not ready for immortality."
Then he calmly walks away.
Yep. Meanwhile, the B plot was actually mainly centered around Kosh. B plot was Kosh hired Talia Winters to sit in on a set of negotiation for between him and another client. Everything being taken care of in the background. So she basically have a reason. And the so then with on negotiation between Kosh and this other being, I can't remember his name. He looked fairly human, but he wasn't. And Kosh and this individual are constantly stating basic phrases that more or less make no sense. And eventually, Talia begins having flashes of memories and feelings that seem to come from nowhere. And
Dear mood, could you
Yes.
mute?
Sure.
Thanks.
I will unmute to find something. Or if you guys ask me to say something.
okay. So then she has these flashes. She pulls old memories, and in the end of the negotiations, Ambassador Kosh is a memory crystal that was implanted in Ed, and after the Vorlons blow up Deathwalker, Talia approaches the commander and tells him about what Kosh has done, and they tell her that the being was known as a vicar based on Yar. Which, for any of you watching and not knowing what that is, that was what came before the DVD player. Anywho, and basically these vicars can record just about anything, including biometrics and thought patterns. So basically, the negotiations were just a pretense to record Talia's thoughts and emotions. Basically, to help keep an eye on telepaths. And it just kind of ends on the note of like, Orlons are really, really crafty, and Orlons are really strange and really crafty. Leaves on that.
Okay, so this episode, the A plot, which is the dealings with the dealings between for all the diplomacies for how to handle this war criminal, actually paperclip. Yeah,
you cut out completely right right there. You just cut out completely.
Oh, okay. So, as I was saying, this episode directly relates to Operation Paperclip, where the United States, in World War II, took a whole bunch of Nazi scientists and forcibly immigrated them to the United States, and absolved them of all charges and all relationship with the war crimes of the Nazis, and you did that to steal all of the research that the Nazi scientists had come up with. Did you get all that?
Yep.
Yeah. So, like, the big name for this is Werner von Braun, who is, I don't know if he actually was the head of NASA at any point, but his research is what NASA was built off of.
Oh dear. Yermut, you have been rivaled by the Ixidar Star Collective. Oh no.
But yeah, so there are there's a lot of disputes about what to do about all of these Nazi scientists that we captured, and we secretly moved them to the United States without telling anyone, and then like turned over a bunch of rocket facilities to them, including the NASA was run by former Nazi scientists for years.
Wow.
But we didn't tell any of the population this because they would have been upset that we let the Nazis off for, their war crimes. And, it was said that all of these people were re-educated to not be Nazis. And, some of them probably were Nazis against their will. Some of them are definitely not in that category. The name of one mathematician from World War II was Teichmuller, who is very much in support of the Nazis, but he got a pass because of the importance of his research. Werner von Braun is an example of one who he says that he was forced to do research, and the official government statement is yes, he was forced to do research for the Nazis, but it's unclear because being on the losing side, what would you say to get out of being punished by the winner of a war if you're on the losing side of the war,
Yeah.
Most people will say almost anything.
And that's the thing, is that we really, we can't look into Werner von Braun's or any of these scientists' minds and see, like, what
they were thinking.
What they were actually thinking. Like, what did they do because they were forced to do it? What would they have
Math? Cut out again.
We just don't know that stuff. So, but the official, like, government position is that these are all people who were forced by the Nazis to do evil things, and they wouldn't have done them if they weren't forced to, and like
crap like that.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is that, like, we get a pretty unambiguous picture of Deathwalker in this movie, because she comes out and says that, like, the reason you know I'm giving you this agapic is because of the terrible cost that it comes with, of you have to kill someone to use it. Kind of like, I don't know, those, what are they called, Horcruxes in Harry Potter,
Huh.
But that's the reason that she says, the reason I'm giving you this is because the temptation for immortality will be so great that you'll do these terrible things to each other, and I'll get basically the last laugh in making billions of you die from this gift.
Yeah, pretty much.
Now, it is a conceit of of this episode that we would never be able to synthesize. There are lots of things that used.
It never actually said that it would be impossible. It just said, when asked about that, that was actually brought up, and it was Dr. Franklin who took an initial look at it. Said it was incredibly complicated. It would take years and years of research to figure out how everything in it actually worked. If it was possible.
Oh, no, I'm talking about, if she researched with them, and them having to kill people to make the stuff. Like, maybe now, yeah, someone would have to die, but that doesn't mean that, 10, 15, 20 years down the line, they'll figure out how to synthesize that stuff that they need.
True, but
like, that's the sad part that I think of, is that, of course, the cost of it now is a life for immortality, but that doesn't mean that would always be the cost.
Well, let's also
Like-
face the facts that if offered a version of immortality, a lot of people would probably attempt to take it regardless of the cost. Even if you could say theoretically, oh, if you waited like 20 years, we'll figure out how to do it without costing another life. Just because possibility that it wouldn't cost another life later doesn't mean take it right away, because who knows what could happen in those years. They could die of a heart attack or catch a fatal disease.
Yeah, but also when you look at that, like, how many people
Anomaly found.
would be terminally ill and would be willing to donate whatever it is as they die? Like, we currently, someone has to die for someone else to get a heart transplant, but that doesn't mean that we don't do heart transplants.
True.
So I'm just saying, like, it's sad that technology got blown up, because it could have been the case that doctors could go, you know what, this person is dead regardless, and like, they're I don't know, for example, like, they might have had an accident, and there's now, they're in two separate pieces. Well, we can extract the stuff from their dead body while it's, getting cold, and stick it in someone else, and hey, look, now we've, even though one person sadly died, another person got immortality at least.
That is a fair point.
So I was sad about that ending, because I knew it was coming the moment that they said that this was immortality. It's like, oh, well, then by the end of the episode, something's going to happen that's going to make immortality not be so nice. Like, they're going to somehow try and justify it, because it would be hard to write a story where no one died, or like no one ever aged, or no one ever got sick.
Yeah, and to be fair, as
Like-
I said, it was no one ever aged, no one ever got sick. I mean, we saw it with Deathwalker herself, that just because you have it doesn't mean.
Oh,
you
yeah.
die.
But I'm just saying, like, it's so alien to us. The idea of never dying is such an alien concept for us to write stories that way.
Yeah, you cut out again. I see. I think you're cutting out every time I hit the first of the month. Anyway, but yeah. So, I mean, to be fair, also at the same time, it looks like that that's in the Babylon 5 setting. There are other ways to gain immortality, as you know, the fact that Kosh said you are not ready for immortality means probably the Vorlons have capabilities, have that as a.
Yeah.
That is the way it came across.
Or maybe the Vorlons just don't want someone else to get it first. But it does make it seem like the Vorlons have the tech.
Oh. Oh, insults are being traded.
Can I insult you?
No.
Because, like, it doesn't mean anything at all when,
And again, it really doesn't mean anything
because we're human players.
Math, how is your war going against the
I'm at 49% right now.
what do you need to win?
Well, let's see. If I want all my stuff, I need a 68. I started at a 0 this episode.
Nice. And I over Fallen Empire.
I'm at 55 now.
Oh, that is sad. Sad how easy.
How easy?
No.
Hello?
Okay, you're back. Yeah,
What?
It's you
Like-
you guys lag out on your whenever we hit the first of the month, or at least I stop. At least you chat knocks out.
Huh, that's weird.
But yeah, I'm looking at like if I declared war on this particular empire.
You mean mine?
No,
Oh,
we all
okay.
know. We all know that would end with me kicking your butt.
Well, that would be the case for any of these, so I don't know why you're even looking.
It's not so much that it's not so much kicking the
In
butt.
progress.
It's the how much of their territory I would take.
System survey complete.
I need 13 more war score to win.
Yermood, how about you? How's your war going? Yermood,
Did you ask me a question? I missed it.
how is your war going?
24%. It did bump up. I'm actually working on it now. And I need a minimum of 6 more to make it a 0 acceptance with everything.
Wow, you only needed like a 30 something or 30%.
Minimum. The demand summit, I need at least a 53% to guarantee it.
53% more or 53% total.
Total. I don't go for a lot of plants at a time to keep it a little low.
Fair enough.
I can see the benefit of going for as many as,
Progress.
but I personally like it a little better when you can grab like 3, 4, 5 plants most
Well, I
than call good.
Yeah, to be fair, I always stock up on as many as I can because you can always just pick and choose. Or if you feel
By
like
the way, I'm going for their home.
that is evil.
Yeah. The Hava Re system is their home system, I expect at least.
Yeah, they came from the planet world Riga, which is in the Havari.
Yep.
They're the Havagari.
Hava yeah.
Havariga.
Havariga. I'm never gonna be able to pronounce their name correct.
Eh, Havariga. People are not going to be dancing the Havariga. I'm a dork. I don't care.
That will be a new dance that will sweep across the galaxy, and that will be everywhere except the Havariga systems, who will be very insulted that a dance came about because of their demise.
Fictionally. Fictionally, though, it's funny.
That said, the Cerulean Alliance decided they wanted to insult me earlier.
How dare they?
Colonization in progress.
The only reason I'm not going after them is because any of their there's only a little bit of territory that I could take that would not be jumping in, that is not already inside Mathjazz's territory, and in reality that would actually start cutting off some of Mathjazz's excess territory. It's just really, really awkward. Oh, I never put a governor over the sector. Whoops. A governor over the sector.
Research complete.
I can put...
Anomaly found.
I will recruit one of my species. Put him as a governor.
Colonization in progress.
Archaeology. Hey, I've got my first got some colony ships. I got some. Yay. Means I can now choose the other two planets. Accurately seconded. Third world, so I action. Is that all I've got? Section, guys. It looks like it. It looks like I only have the Ultra Augie no locks for this for the warm climate.
The thing that sucks for me currently is I'm trying to decide what my next ascension perk is, because as soon as I get my next tradition,
I got the monkey people. Monkey people. Forgot about that. I forgot that I actually absorbed one of my earlier races. On one of the earlier vassals, I absorbed of monkey people who lived on the savannas. Awfully familiar.
that's what they all say.
Oh, I also have these molluscoids over savanna. And all of my races that are in the hot climate are savanna species. Showing empire species. The savanna. Oh no, I have one desert. I have a desert species, and I do have an individual arid. One individual pop that lives in the arid territory. Where is he currently at? And I see where this one guy is at. What planet is he on? I know where he came from. I want to know where he's at. He's on the preserve, isn't he? Yes. The one individual on the preserve. It's one of the Cerulans. I have a Cerulan from the because I conquered the preserve. How goes the war math?
I'm at 62. I need 68.
Before I forget, we still have one more episode to discuss, much as I don't want to.
Oh,
If I mentioned
yes.
how much I really that episode.
Yes, Believers,
I
episode
do
10.
not blame you.
I
was
liked it.
interesting, but it wasn't one of my favorites.
Just,
I liked the episode.
I mean, to be fair, it's very interesting from a it's very interesting from a concept perspective. It's very good on addressing the issues between science belief. That doesn't make it any easy to watch it. Me. Anyway, you wanna go ahead and explain the episode math?
Okay, so there's a family. They came to visit Babylon 5 because their son is very sick, and they this is their last hope for treatment. But when they find out that the treatment is going to require, it's not medicinal treatment, it's a surgery, they refuse because in their culture they believe that if your skin is punctured, then your soul will escape and you become basically like an undead.
I think if it's specifically cut open, not if it gets actually.
Well,
I could be
that's
wrong.
the unclear part, is because like to me is like, what's the difference between intentionally cutting someone open for surgery and
accidentally cutting yourself.
yeah, accidentally getting cut. So like that was confusing to me, and to me like it's obviously supposed to be it's because it's different religions prohibit certain medical treatments. For example, some religions believe that blood transfusions are wrong, that it's akin to like drinking blood and satanic. So they don't ever have blood transfusions. And the thing is that it's really tough when you're deciding between like, do I suffer or die possibly by not having a transfusion, or not having a treatment that I need, or do I give up my religious beliefs? And so of course the doctor wants to perform the surgery because he wants to save the person,
Child.
the kid. But the parents don't want him to perform the surgery, and so they get into a whole huge diplomatic thing because these are aliens. So not only is it like the rights of the kid, the rights of the parent, the what's best for the kid, rights to religion, all that stuff, but it's also, if we ignore these people's religion, like that's an affront to an entire people. And so it goes on, and what happens is the doctor is told to stand down, that we're going to respect the wishes of the parents. Did I cut out?
No, I just wanted to add one other thing. The other thing is that the kid himself also didn't want the surgery because he believed.
Yeah, they talk to the kid. Kid is a smart kid, understands that he is choosing to die by not having the surgery, but says that he chooses to die because he would rather keep his soul than live. But so the doctor is eventually ordered to stand down and not perform the surgery. But the doctor and his assistant decide to do it anyway. They knock the kid out. They tell the parents to go home, visiting hours are done for the day. They perform the surgery and save the kid's life.
I'm gonna pause the game for a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, gotta take care of those. Care of those new planets you got.
Keep talking. I'm just gonna do
Oh.
this and I'll pause it.
Okay. So, anyway, they knock the kid out. They send the parents away. They perform the surgery. The kid is able to sit up and breathe properly again. And then the parents see, and the parents are convinced that this is not their kid anymore. It is a demon inhabiting the body of the kid. And they um, they tell the doctor that, you know, we're gonna go home now. And so they put the kid in his traveling robe, and they decide to go home. The doctor eventually looks up the people and their customs on basically their version of the internet, finds out that traveling robes are put on people who are to be ritually sacrificed because
No, they are put on people who are going to die. The great journey moving on. They were releasing in this specific case. They were releasing an agonized shell because it had his spirit. But what I understood, it was the traveling robe was put on for this great journey, which sounds like
okay.
Moving on to the next life, moving on past this life.
At any rate, he finds out that traveling robe means that the kid is going to die, and he rushes to the room, finds out he's too late. The parents have killed the child, and everyone on the ship is just sad because of it, and horrified because of it. And to me, I thought this episode was, I enjoyed it. Like, it's dark, but dark doesn't mean bad.
I never said the episode was bad. It's, as you said, the problem is that it is dark, and since it is a dark episode involving it is a dark episode, and I just it's just one of those it was just one of those that just left a bad taste in my mouth. Maybe in my case because it's kind of that sides. Neither of them is. Both sides of the issue are both right and wrong. Do you respect the person's religion? Do you respect their beliefs, even if it means someone dies, or do you ignore the beliefs of another in order to save their life, even if they think that it's not worth living afterwards because you did that?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is that the kid said that he would rather die than have the surgery. So, performing the surgery and then the kid allowing his parents to kill him, like, that's foreseeable, really. But, I don't know, like, for me, I think that both the doctor and the kid, well, both the doctor and the family were acting very courageously for their beliefs. And while I'm on the side of the doctor, I think that save um, I think that both sides were acting valiantly, if you will.
Yeah, I can understand what you're saying, and as I mentioned, that's kind of my point. Oh, Math, you missed a planet.
I did?
Missed a planet in their
Oh, in the Landine system.
Yep.
Oh well.
But yeah, and there was something of a B plot. Well, but it was
Incoming
Not-
transmission.
really all that big.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just Winters piloting some fighter to protect some transport that was going through a dangerous area. But it was nice to see her like get some piloting action because I don't remember if they said she was a pilot before this episode.
I mean,
But
I mean, I don't think we've seen her pilot before this episode.
no,
but,
we definitely did not see her pilot before this episode.
but
I don't remember if they said if she could pilot or not
that
before
she
the
had
episode.
a very large amount of piloting hours under her belt. So she did. So she was indeed a pilot before this episode.
Yeah.
Just we haven't seen her fly before. So. How much more of this guy are you planning to dunk?
Talking to me?
Well, both of you, because you're both constant. Because you're both.
I'm aiming for as much as I can get, but I'm aiming for the top portion next.
Math.
Well, it's gonna take 10 years time before I can cut off any more of them.
I'm asking how
So-
much are you planning on taking off? Because there are other people, amidst yourselves that you could go after.
As soon as I get rid of that top section, I'm considering our Star Collective or just finishing off.
The thing for me is that if I attack anyone else, then it's 1-on-3.
That hasn't stopped me. That hasn't stopped me.
Well, yeah, but you have a much stronger military presence than I do.
And
I lost a third of my fleet in this last war.
Yeah, you are down.
It was some bad planning on my part. It was totally my fault. But nevertheless, this is the result of the situation, is that my fleet is about half to 2/3 what it used to be.
I could totally. Oh wait, no, never mind. I don't want these guys around. Never mind. I was considering going to war with the intention of taking the Furial Alliance as basically my little dude, but they're a Democratic Crusader. They hate my guts. They automatically have a -50 with me because I'm an oligarchy.
Huh.
They don't like anything other than democracy. Of course it'd be these guys. The Ultra Ogi Nolexes are actually the most numerous species in my empire. You'd like them, Math Jazz. They look like the Mengetti.
That's good. Everyone should look like Mengetti.
Is there any?
Is there any what?
Situation log updated.
Gammood? Gammood? Hello? I think you muted yourself again.
Evidently, I did. I was trying to ask: is there any other way to get?
You just cut out again.
Is there any other way to get Unity?
Unity?
Build stuff on tiles.
I mean, like, get like 1,000 unity in a shot or something. I know that may be a little high, but I'm just asking.
There are a couple ways, but they all involve Leviathans, which are all dead. Crises, which are one of and haven't seen any others. At this point, I doubt we're gonna see any of the other crises. One that we might see, pathetic one, which fairly easy down. Surge is probably just not gonna show up at this.
Incoming transmission.
Are we planning on ending the game then?
I am just throwing out Federation invitations.
Remember, we do that, and when we would end the game. I think you and me alone would be enough to end the game.
I think you're right.
Special project.
Then I better do it before you say yes. Can't have you two winning without me.
The Glorious League. So are we... Would we do... Do you want to do that? Do you want to end this game here? Did you say something, Math? Because it was at that point where I think it was cutting out.
I said, what are your goals? Oh, ooh, wait, I just got... I got a weird thing.
A weird thing.
Yes. It says, the native life of Pristine Jewel is built on an epic scale, far larger than anyone previously thought was possible for biological life. The question now, in the minds of our researchers, what is their secret and can we benefit from it? Proposals to study the native life in greater detail are flooding in. I will study
Pristine
this.
Jewel?
It's near the place that you just knocked out.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it.
So, Pristine Jewel is between the two fallen empires.
Yeah, I'm still trying to find it in this area.
It's in the,
There it is. Titanic Life in a Holy World. But yeah, do we want to just end the game here? Because...
No, I want the Titanic Life thing.
I mean, you guys have already jumped into a federation. Also, that means if one of you goes to war, both of you go to war.
Oh, you know what? There you go.
Colonization in progress.
I mean, you and I are.
You just rejected my proposal.
I just cleared it. I just cleared it off because if you left that league,
it was just funny. And then I get a message from you saying, "I'm sorry, I don't want to join your federation."
Now, you realize that that I'm sitting at over 200 planets right now.
Yeah, I have 195.
I have 198 with control over several others because I have vassalized. I have a vassal has 13 planets under another vassal who extra 14 on top of my 198. Yeah, nope, that's perfect. That's it. I have 212 of the 260 acquired planets. Oh, you've colonized Pros.
Oh no.
Oh, and oh my gosh, that is hilarious.
No.
I want to see how this goes. I want to see how this goes now.
I don't.
Oh my gosh.
I do not like this. Do not want.
Oh, what's your total fleet power, Math?
Just under 60K.
Well, I mean, their best is 80K. They have multiple fleets. That would be a bit of a problem. That said, you do have
Wait, I get to make counter. Wait. Negotiate.
if they declare war on you, you get to set demands in return, basically back.
Yeah.
I love it that this guy's saying, we would not want to drag your people into conflict, but it is clear we would benefit from joining together against possible threats. And I'm sitting here thinking, I am the biggest threat in the galaxy. You just want the big, powerful dude hanging over everyone to be on your side. The other thing I can think of is, if you really wanted that, you would ask to be my vassal. What?
Okay. There you go.
What just happened? What just happened?
Colonization in progress. System survey complete. Anomaly found.
End of month lag spikes are. Can I get? I can't get that one. That face. Oh well. Yeah, why not?
We have declared war.
Why did they attack me? They liked me.
Maybe the Ixidar didn't like you? I don't see a reason other than desperation for. I don't know. Hey, that means you can take that little chunk that's sitting in your territory that's split off from the rest. If you hadn't already done your demands. Did anyone else notice something happening?
What happened?
You didn't. You didn't notice. Oh, that's hilarious. Especially considering.
Depends on what you're saying is happening.
You declared war, but is that what you're asking about?
Yes, I declared war. Did you see who?
Against the people that attacked me.
Yes. In other words, they're
Oh,
probably.
you're such a good friend.
I figured I could do something to get something out of this, and also being Math alive. Considering he's already considering it looks like he's already losing the war. I mean, it just wouldn't do it if this trio of massive empires was suddenly shut down when the third member was annihilated by the only remaining alliance. It just wouldn't be. It just wouldn't. Right. Wouldn't be proper. It wouldn't be fun. Well, okay, it might be fun, but more fun for me, not you guys.
Oh, of course.
Math is being hit with a attack of the clones. It's attack of the clones. Oh wait, that's their homeworld, or is that not their homeworld? I kind of want to know. I don't think that's wrong. Pretty sure I have at least one in my M. Yep. No, yeah, they originated from that planet. I didn't realize Math has the homeworld of the Ferials, of the Ferals.
Yeah, because the Ferals were in a war with the people to the north of them, the Ixodar. The Ixodar took the homeworld, and then the people on the homeworld rebelled and asked to join me. I said, sure.
You guys see the? Did you guys get a little notification just then? Alright, never mind. If you haven't gotten it, you'll get one. A couple of years.
By the way, I'm enlightening another species.
Of course you are. I don't have any other species in my empire to enlighten. Sadly.
Well, if I could do other things, I would do other things to be humorous, like aggressive observation.
You'd be probing a lot.
Essentially, yes. Indoctrination would be interesting,
I've done that.
or covert infiltration. But the only things I have is technological enlightenment and passive observation.
And it's because you're a xenophile.
Yep.
Fanatic xenophile. You know what's hilarious? I think I'm looking at you and realizing what I think I'm finally realizing why why I outpaced you guys so heavily.
How so?
Because I managed to take the holdings of a fallen empire fairly early, and that included tech. I mean, it was a big problem when it popped up at the time. But after the case, suddenly I was in control of an entire of a ring world with fallen empire tech. And as well as the tech that I got from the debris, which shot my military tech ahead a bunch, which meant that I quickly became more powerful per ship than a lot of other empires.
Very true.
And then Gunbin came and wrecked face. Wait, Math, did you just render?
Yes.
Colony established.
You just
seeded 8 planets.
Wow. Wow, Math.
System survey complete.
I mean, you... Do not realize that actually holding out would have been better for you, because I was going to war with him, meaning that he would start to have to start trying to push me back, which means his fleets either would have been pulled away or died.
That is probable. But Mengedi were dying, and I couldn't allow that. Anyway, I found the Titanic life thing.
Research complete. Situation log updated. Situation log updated.
My gosh, I can't see the planet through my fleet. There we go. That was... Okay, you are going. It's just... laggy behind.
Well, I know that this is right in the middle of a war, but I mean most of the time we're right in the middle of a war.
Still got like 15 minutes. I mean, we streamed for about 2 hours.
Yeah. You're right. We are about 15 minutes shy of 2 hours.
Colony established.
Matthew, you realize that you lost...
I know.
Still about halfway across the game. Or more. Because it's literally coming from
System
the other
survey
galaxy.
complete.
my vassal has their fleet engaging a fortress of this Cerulean alliance, actually doing quite well. The only problem is that I'm pretty sure their fleet. Annoyed I haven't come across psionic jump drives.
Me too.
I am going to aid my vassal's fleet and wipe out the Cerulean Alliance's 76k fleet. AKA, I think actually I think that's the largest fleet. Ixodar Star Collective 50k being. Now in the system with the main. Right? Yes.
Research complete.
I don't think my vassals' transport ships are going to survive. But their sacrifices will not be in vain. My fleet comes. Grand Crusade is upon them. Nope, they got sidetracked by a friggin' mining station, of course.
I wish that there were a way to control how, like, make them disengage stupid targets.
Oh, they are engaged with my fleet. I just couldn't tell because my fleet still is bugging out because it is so darn big. Well. Actually, realized they aren't anything over yet. Transport's gonna land on that planet anyway. Oh, shots are being fired. They are losing ships. Firing Ivory Lances and I'm firing Giga Cannons in return. Ship count is slowly decreasing. Problem is, if I watch this at all, it's gonna lag, regardless of how I try to watch it. Look back in. They have dropped from over 70k to under 50 to almost 50k. A very short period of time. Well, I guess I can just see how much fleet power they've got on the side right here. They are under 50k. They're almost under 40k. Holy crap, that was quick. They're down to just their battleships. Oh my gosh. There's one. So they retreat. Not matter. Yeah, I've annihilated their fleet. All that's left is for them to get out of combat with that standing state. Route. What I lost in that battle, I think I had like 300 Corvettes, and I'm like down to like almost 200. So, not without losses, but holy crap, not anything that I can't replace. Oh wow. Yeah, that. Corvettes have gotten into. I lost 2 cruisers and 26 corvettes. I was wrong. I only had like 250.
Enemy planet secured.
Wait, that can't be right because it says I have like 600 cruisers.
Green captain. Half fleet.
Scroll down. Let me scroll down. Let me. And yeah. So Math, if you had stuck around in this war, you suddenly would have had the larger fleet. You would have they would have lost their only fleet that could actually match your fleet power.
Yeah. And I doubt that they could have gotten the war score down low enough to force me to end the war. And they can only ask for things that they demanded at the beginning of the war. So, yeah, it was a bad move on my part. I was too concerned about the Mengeti currently dying than to look at the big picture of all of those Mengeti that are now stranded on planets that are owned by other people. And these people, they have slavery. Like, I just sold a bunch of Mengeti into slavery in this deal.
Which one has slaves?
One of them did, I thought.
Probably the Ixidar there. I think. Yeah, the Ixidar are highly authoritarian.
Yeah, so I probably just sent a bunch of my citizens into slavery.
You're a horrible person.
I know.
Well, I mean, I'm looking. Trying to see.
Did you hear that? Math Jazz just sold some of his people into slavery. Did you hear what he responded with?
Yeah, I did.
Did you?
Well, I mean, at the time, I thought I was saving people from dying, but apparently not.
You're saving people who volunteered for a service that would probably end with that had a very high possibility of them dying. And in return, in order to save those people, you sold entire planets that potentially to a group that used slavery. Although I'm looking and I'm not seeing any slaves.
Well, that's good. At least they're not enslaved.
Enemy planet secured.
Yeah, it is. We're now slightly over 2 hours.
Okay. Well, I need to go call my parents because I haven't talked to them in a couple of days. And it was my dad's birthday yesterday. So,
Even I said happy birthday.
well, I Facebook posted, but when I tried calling, they said that they were like waiting for a movie like they went out to the movies. And
Okay,
so
that makes
like
sense.
so I
Well,
wasn't able to.
at least you sound like a better person.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was just scheduling. Like it was my mom's birthday 3 days ago. It was my dad's birthday yesterday, and
Really?
I tr-
Huh? Wow,
I
this close.
yeah, I tried calling them on each of their birthdays, but each of them were like, "Oh, we're going to do such and such for my birthday, and can't talk right now." So like, okay, well, have to make up for that somehow.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I will go do that as soon as we wrap up the episode, which we will do right now. So hope you guys enjoyed watching this game. And a terrible person on so many levels, and I hope that you also enjoyed us talking about Babylon 5. That's so far it's a really fun show. I'm glad I've been introduced to it. But
I know,
yeah,
I'm enjoying it.
yeah. So see you guys next week. Bye.
Yeah.
See you later.